So, let's go ahead and talk about how not that it matters, but how I would book Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 31, now that Brock Lesnar has re-signed with WWE. Things were up in the air for a while. Is he going back to UFC? Is he staying? What's he going to do? Is he going to drop the title? Does he want to keep the title? What's his deal all about? At this point, it's already set in stone. Brock Lesnar is staying, one way or another. Okay. I made a video, as you guys probably know, I've been doing the recently, the WrestleMania simulation videos talking about my thoughts, and I recorded the Brock Roman one a few days ago, and it's irrelevant now. It's irrelevant now because the Brock Lesnar re-signing changed so many things. Here's one thing it changed for me and probably everyone. Brock Lesnar is now the big bad babyface going into this match. Regardless of there's no way around it. There's no possible way. Brock Lesnar can go outside and, make a vine of him punting a kitten across the street, and he will still walk out to a massive reaction at WrestleMania, He had the choice to go back to UFC and leave the WWE Universe once. Let's get sentimental about it real quick. He had an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm going elsewhere. But he chose to stay in our world, in the wrestling world, instead of going back and doing all that real fighting. So that in itself garnered him, a lot of great babyface momentum right there. But Roman Reigns is still part of this match. This isn't a Brock Lesnar solo match. This is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. So where's Roman Reigns gonna stand? Well, 3 days ago, I would have said, you know what, Roman Reigns is probably going to win. Brock Lesnar might stay off TV for a while and then eventually go back to UFC. That's what I would have said a couple days ago. That changed completely. So now you're in a situation where everyone is expecting Brock Lesnar to retain. Everyone. I have not talked to anyone that originally felt that Roman was going to win who still feels that way. That includes myself. Not that I talk to myself, but that's besides the point. The point is, Roman Reigns is now your heel in this match, okay? They should absolutely take that and run with it. At WrestleMania 31, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman turns on Brock Lesnar, cementing his babyface legacy going forward, and aligns himself with Roman Reigns. Yeah, this isn't groundbreaking booking here. This isn't anything that probably hasn't been mentioned already. But let's look at the reasons why it makes sense. Because there's more than one. Number one, the obvious reason, the fans. You know how the fans are going to react to Roman if he wins. You know how the fans are going to react to Roman the day after Mania if he wins. You know how the fans are going to react to Brock Lesnar the second he walks out. So that's first and foremost. Is understanding where the fans lie as far as allegiances go here. Number two, this solves the problem of Roman, quote-unquote, not being ready yet. You put him with Paul Heyman, you let him just not only be able to work that closely with Paul Heyman, and I can't imagine a human being in this world that could work that closely to someone like that and not learn something on a daily basis. But it gives him more time to develop his mic skills, gives him more time to just develop as a character, and be, he's got a badass look. You can't deny the fact that Roman looks pretty cool. He's a pretty badass dude. So being a monstrous heel, as opposed to a kind of scaredy cat heel, a la Seth Rollins kind of situation. If you're gonna make Roman a heel, you gotta make him the badass monster, Earth Destroyer heel. You can't make him the scaredy cat, running from a fight type of heel. You can't do that. Not with Roman. It won't work. So number one, the fans are happy. Number two, you give Roman a mouthpiece and time to develop. You now create a scenario that can last for Roman Reigns. Because let's say Roman does lose at WrestleMania and it's clean. Brock just wins. What happens to Roman? Like think about that. What happens to Roman? Oh, I'll come back. Oh, I want a rematch. But no, that's it. You win the Rumble, you lose your Mania match. That's never a good sign. You know what I mean? If Roman just loses clean, all that momentum, all that build up for over a year, guys. For over a year. Remember Roman's performance in last year's Royal Rumble? You know, back when his push originally was starting as a solo guy while he was still in the Shield. This goes back a long way. This is a lot of buildup. They're not just gonna drop it. There's no way. That'd be a ridiculous decision, because for the amount of fans who maybe reject Roman, there's a pretty equal amount of fans who accept him. And you have to give them credit for pushing Roman to that extent, to where for a good portion of the crowd he is over. For a good portion of it. Not the entire crowd, obviously. There's many detractors, but they have done an okay job. They have accomplished something, okay? And to go back on those accomplishments would, at this point, would kind of be stupid. It would really be stupid to go back on all those accomplishments. So, if Roman Reigns walks out of WrestleMania, having lost to Brock Lesnar clean in the middle of the ring, and nothing else happens, that's not a good sign for Roman at all. And it's not good for his character. So, it almost seems like the only scenario that is best for everyone is if Roman does leave WrestleMania with the title, but he does it as a heel with Paul Heyman. This turns Brock Lesnar into a mega babyface. Now he's this badass, indestructible monster who it took two people, Roman and Heyman, to take him down. Now he's battling to get his title back, and he blows through friggin' everybody. You could have him come out and destroy people every week. I don't know what his dates are like now. I do kind of hope he has a few more dates than he has recently. I would like to see him. It doesn't have to be every week. Doesn't have to be every episode. I would like to see him maybe somewhat more consistently and really be deep in some storylines here. Fighting to get his title back. Just a badass, pissed off babyface is exactly what WWE needs right now. These, you know, goody-goody babyfaces, these good guy, all-American people. It's great. It works for a while. But Brock Lesnar as your top babyface, oh my God. The potential of that going forward makes me very happy as a fan of this business, as someone who wants to see this business get better, wants to see the WWE get better and thrive. That makes me very happy. You have another top heel as the WWE champion in Roman Reigns, who's now working with Paul Heyman. Now, the final question that would need to be answered is, why would Paul Heyman turn on Brock Lesnar? Good question. Thank you for asking that. Here's why. Paul Heyman has worked closely with Brock Lesnar for years. There's so many ways you can spin this. I'm going to spitball just one idea of how you can spin this for Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has worked so closely with Brock Lesnar over all these years. It was getting down to the point where Brock Lesnar could have went back. You can and you should play the UFC card in this. You could have went back to UFC, gotten $5 million a fight, which in turn, you know, storyline-wise, as with Paul Heyman as his quote-unquote manager, advocate, whatever, would have earned Paul Heyman a shit ton of money. But Brock chose the fans. You know, Brock chose the fans over the money. Brock chose, you know, getting cheered over being able to work 3 times a year and make ridiculous amounts of money, which would have been easier on Paul. Like, there's so many ways you can spin this around, and Paul Heyman could come out and say, I did it because I effing felt like it, and we'd all be fine with it because it's Paul Heyman, because it's freaking Paul Heyman. I would have no problem with whatever his explanation was. But, you know, you could play the UFC card. Oh, you know, you could have went back to UFC, and we could have been, you know, working 3 days a year, but instead you chose the fans over blah, 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 and that, you know, now I got to stick here in the WWE, so you know, I felt betrayed. You made that decision without me. I'm supposed to be your advocate. I've been, you know, singing your praises and representing you all this time, and then you go and make a decision without me and screw me out of all this potential money. Well, screw you. I'm not going for the past. I'm going for the future, and the future is Roman Reigns. Boom. I'd be happy with that explanation. I'm sure a lot of people would probably be as well. And again, there's 1,000 ways you could spin it. But Paul Heyman walking out of WrestleMania with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is champ. Brock Lesnar, you new top babyface. That's the best way to go, in my opinion. That's how I would do it. Save the Rollins cash-in for the... Oh, God. I'm going to be at WrestleMania, and you have no idea how much I would love to be there live to watch Rollins cash in and have his moment. But maybe this isn't the right time. As much as I would love to see a Mania cash in, what, like 10 years to the day from the day that Money in the Bank was introduced, it would be just absolutely huge. And I wouldn't be mad if it happened, but I feel like maybe this isn't the time for that. So Brock versus Roman, WrestleMania 31. Roman goes over with the help of Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar is your new top babyface. Roman Reigns is your new top heel. You give Roman heat going forward. Brock Lesnar is just going to be massively cheered and is now the top of the card every time he steps foot in the arena. It gives you the opportunity to build more feuds for Brock Lesnar and see some matches that maybe we wouldn't be able to see if this happened any other way. I'm excited for it. I hope that's the way it turns out. That's the way I would handle it. But we got a couple more days to wait and see. So, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you think is going to happen, how you'd like to see it go down, what you thought about my scenario, and that's going to do it. Hope you guys are ready for WrestleMania. I am. I'm stoked. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe now for more, and I'll see you soon.
Well, let's take a look at some of those highlights. And here's just some of the action we saw during the match. Whoa, I can't believe what we saw in that match. Let's play some of the highlights back. You want to talk about incredible, high-impact sports entertainment? Check out what happened during this match.
Here is your winner, and still WWE Champion, representing the Acolytes, Brock Lesnar.
Wow, what a match! The championship retained over some game competition.